Hey, yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This is Smart TCG, and today I'm going to be going over Miraidon EX in the Black Bolt and White Flare format. These are the two brand new sets that are going to be releasing, and they have a lot of potential to shake up the metagame, and this is going to be a deck that gets a big boost from these new sets. So today, we're going to be going over the deck, some of the brand new cards that it gets, and then we're going to go over my current 64. But with that being said, if you enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let's hop into it. Alrighty, starting off here, we have Miraidon EX. Miraidon EX is a former top-tier deck. This deck has seen quite a bit of success, won an international championship, and also won multiple regional championships. Myself, I was able to win a regional championship this year with this deck, so I am a big fan of it, and I'm excited to see it be competitively viable again, because the past couple of months, right after rotation, it lost so many important cards. We lost cards like the Four Seal Stone, Luminion, Raichu, Raikou as well. Just so many important cards. Rotom too. Like, there were just so much that this deck lost, and it really hasn't seen necessarily very much success recently. Miraidon pretty much has only seen success in Joltik Box, but that's a completely different deck. Alrighty, hopping into one of the brand new cards, a crucial card that this deck needs to see success. We have Zekrom EX. Zekrom EX is a 230 HP lightning type Pokemon with that Voltage Burst attack. Voltage Burst deals 130 damage, but does 50 more damage for each prize card your opponent has taken. It also deals 30 damage to itself, but that's typically not a big deal because most decks in the format are able to one-shot it anyway, so dealing 30 damage is not necessarily a big deal. But this Voltage Burst attack is exactly what this deck was missing. With Raichu rotating out of the standard format, this deck lost the ability to just blow anything up at the end of the game, and Zekrom allows you to do that. On top of it as well, this card pairs up very nicely with Magneton, because Magneton can attach a bunch of energies onto Zekrom and also give them a prize card, making that Voltage Burst be that much more threatening. Next up here, we have Electric. This is a card that was printed long ago and is now being reprinted in the brand new set. And it has a fantastic ability, Dynamotor. Dynamotor reads, once in your turn, you may attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to one of your benched Pokemon. The exact same thing that Flaffy did. This card is just what the deck needed. It needed consistent ways to keep energies on the board, because sometimes your electric generators aren't always hitting for 2, unfortunately. I know it's, feels amazing when you hit those 2, but there are going to be some games where you don't, and that's where things like the electric becomes just so important, to be able to keep consistent flows of energy throughout the game. Alrighty, next up here, we have Air Balloon. Air Balloon is a card that used to see play a couple of years ago before it rotated out of the standard format. So this is a reprint. The retreat cost of the Pokemon this card is attached to is 2 less. So this card is absolutely fantastic in this deck. It means you don't have to play cards like the Latias anymore, giving free retreat for most of the deck. Now, there are a couple of cards in this deck that Air Balloon is not going to work with. For example, things like Iron Hands and also Bloodmoon Ursaluna, as they have more than a 2 retreat cost, but we still play switch cards to fix that issue. And also, it is searchable with Arven. There are going to be some situations where you don't really have a great tool to pull out, so you can just use that Arven to get that Air Balloon. It's very easy to get, and since your deck doesn't play as many critical tools as it used to, for example, things like Four Seal Stone, as that's also rotated, it's a perfect card to grab off that Arven. Alrighty, here is the 60 that I have constructed. If you are interested in the export of the list, you can check the description. But we have 2 Miraidon EX here, 2 Iron Hands, pretty standard. Iron Hands, still a great attacker. The ability to use that amp you very much. Early in the game, can just run over decks. We got the 1-1 Electric line and also the 1-1 Magneton line. Playing thin counts of some of these lightning type Pokemon is completely fine due to the fact that we have tandem units allowing us to pick and choose exactly what lightning types we want on the board. We have 1 Zekrom as well, 1 Fezandipiti, 1 Iron Bundle, 2 Squawkabilly EX, since this deck doesn't have things like Luminion and Rotom and Four Seal Stone, just important consistency cards, making sure that you get Squawkabilly EX down as quickly as possible and that you can use that Squawk and Seize to burn through your deck on that first turn is just so important that prizing it can lose you games in some situations. So having that second one feels really good. Also have one of Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX. This is a great card to finish games, and then a Mew EX as well for that restart. This is a deck that oftentimes likes to get Mew EX and Fezandipiti on the board at the very end, just for that heavy draw power to find those final gust effects that you so often need to win games. We have 4 Professor's Research, 3 Boss's Orders, and 2 Arven as well. Arven isn't necessarily as powerful as a card in a heavy Budu format. On top of it as well, since we don't have as much draw support in this deck, just burning through your deck as quickly as possible with things like Research becomes that much more important. So that's why we play a heavier count of Research now instead of a heavier count of Arven. In the past, it used to be 4 Arven and then 1 to 2 Research, but now that is completely flipped with where the format is sitting. We got 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Electric Generator as well, 2 Pokégear for that consistency, just because we don't have 4 Sealstone and Lumineon anymore. Our deck is just simply more inconsistent, but having Pokégear kind of smooths out some of those consistency issues. And then we have 2 Switch, 1 Super Rod, 1 Prime Catcher, 1 Air Balloon, 1 Bravery Charm as well. Bravery Charm on things like Iron Hands is very threatening for many decks to deal with. Specifically, decks like Gardevoir can run into problems if you are able to hit an early amp you very much. With a Bravery Charm can be very difficult for them to deal with. And then we have 16 Lightning Energy to round out the list. I admittedly have considered going up to 17 or 18 just because we don't have double turbo energy anymore to go onto that Iron Hand. So it admittedly is a little bit more difficult to get that early amp you very much. So I have considered potentially just going down to 1 Iron Hands as well. That is something that you could possibly do. But this is currently the 60, and it feels, pretty good. I think it has a lot of potential. I've started to draw some hands with it, just kind of see how the deck functions, and it still functions relatively similarly to what it did in the past, but you do have to add a little bit more consistency stuff to kind of make up for some of the things that this deck lost. But anyways, I think this deck has quite a bit of potential heading into the World Championships, and I am curious to see how it does move forward. But with that being said, that is going to do it today for the video. If you enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I will be putting out some more consistent content as well. I also will be running a online tournament series too that I will be announcing soon, that I will be streaming. So make sure to go check that out. Should be during the middle of the week coming up, but lots of cool things planned for the channel. I am back and I'm excited to create content that you guys find useful. Anyways, thanks for all the support as always. This is Smart TCG, and I'll speak with you guys again soon. Peace out.